In a world that seems to be spiraling into uncertainty, certain figures emerge as beacons of light in the darkness. Mother Teresa, the humble nun of Calcutta, is not only remembered for her immense charity, but also for her sharp vision of the future. Few know this, but in the 1960s, Mother Teresa made a prediction that today is revealing its chilling truth. Her ability to see beyond the present allowed her to glimpse the fate of humanity. She spoke of difficult times, a crisis that would affect not only the poorest of the poor, but also the very heart of civilization. What seemed distant and almost inconceivable at the time is now unfolding before our eyes. Her words echo with prophetic power as if she foresaw the chaos and disorder we're experiencing. What were her insights, and how are they manifesting in our era? In this video, we will explore the secret message of Mother Teresa, a woman who, in her silence and humility, understood the dark forces that would overwhelm our time. Mother Teresa was not only a woman of action, but also someone deeply attuned to the spiritual and human realities of the world. During an interview in the 1960s, a time marked by social, economic, and cultural shifts, she spoke words that deeply impacted those who listened. Words that, at the time, seemed to refer to a distant future, but now, over half a century later, appear frighteningly close to our daily reality. She said that humanity would soon face an unprecedented crisis, not only on a material level, but, above all, a moral one. Mother Teresa spoke of a great spiritual void that would grip Western societies, a progressive estrangement from God and the most sacred values that unite us. But what makes her words even more unsettling is that she identified this void as the root of a global suffering, not just physical poverty, which she knew well, but inner poverty that would afflict even the richest nations. She saw the world with different eyes, understanding that the absence of spirituality and compassion would be the cause of a new wave of destruction. She predicted a fracture in the soul of the modern world, where technological and material progress would no longer fill the need for meaning. And in doing so, she anticipated the crises we see unfolding today: wars, divisions, and the loss of values. Looking at our time, it's hard not to notice how these words have become reality. The world seems more divided than ever. The global pandemic has exposed the fragility of our social and economic structures, but more than anything, it has revealed the deep lack of solidarity and compassion that characterizes our societies. The crisis of faith, moral confusion, rampant selfishness, all of this was foretold by Mother Teresa as a sign that humanity was losing its spiritual center. Her words are not only a warning, but also an invitation to rediscover the inner light that seems to be fading more and more. Mother Teresa's prediction was not just a simple caution. It was a cry for help to bring the world back on the right path before it was too late. Today, looking back at her words, it's hard not to be struck by their precision and profound meaning. What makes Mother Teresa's prophetic words truly frightening is the clarity with which she foresaw a crisis that goes beyond physical and material poverty, touching the very heart of human existence: the loss of meaning, the spiritual crisis, and the consequent moral and social disintegration. Mother Teresa saw what many failed to grasp: the emergence of an era where progress would empty the soul and where humanity would lose touch with what gives life its meaning. The most disturbing aspect of her prophecies is that she described humanity capable of building immense wealth but deeply poor in spirit. And this spiritual poverty, according to Mother Teresa, would be the cause of a collapse far more devastating than any economic or social catastrophe. Her greatest fear, as expressed in her words, was that humanity, in its pursuit of material wealth and technological progress, would sacrifice its own humanity. Here's what we should fear: the spiritual void. Mother Teresa spoke of an inner desolation that would invade people's hearts. This void manifests not only in a loss of religious faith, but in a growing lack of empathy, love, and compassion among humans. A society becomes increasingly individualistic, where one's neighbor is seen as an obstacle or enemy rather than a brother to help. Moral collapse. The predicted spiritual crisis translates into moral decay. Without strong values to guide existence, there is a risk of falling into a spiral of relativism, where everything is justifiable and the lines between good and evil blur. This ethical chaos, as foreseen by Mother Teresa, represents one of the gravest threats to humanity: the loss of human dignity. In her words, there is a deep fear that, in a world devoid of spirituality and true values, humans will lose respect for themselves and others. Life becomes commodified, and dignity is sidelined in favor of success, power, and wealth. A future of loneliness and alienation. Mother Teresa foresaw a world where people, despite being hyper-connected technologically, would become increasingly isolated and lonely on the inside. This spiritual loneliness, long ignored, could unleash profound psychological and social suffering. The true danger, according to Mother Teresa, is that this condition could lead humanity to a point of no return, where it will be too late to rediscover the values that keep us united. Her message was a warning. If we don't nourish our souls as much as we nourish our bodies, we risk building an imposing civilization that is entirely empty, ready to collapse at the slightest gust of wind. According to Mother Teresa's prophetic words, we are fast approaching a future where the spiritual void will become increasingly evident. This will lead to growing alienation among people, with society becoming more fragmented and unable to respond to the moral and human challenges ahead. We will witness an increase in individualism, loneliness, and the loss of essential values like compassion and solidarity. The imminent danger is that this spiritual decline will lead to conflicts, social and moral instability, and a disintegration of the very foundations that hold communities together. Without an inner awakening, we may witness a global crisis, not just economic or political, but existential, in which humanity faces the void it has created. The remedies to Mother Teresa's unsettling predictions lie in a profound return to spiritual and human values, a path that requires both individual and collective commitment. Here are some ways we can take action. The first step is a return to spirituality. The key to avoiding the void prophesied by Mother Teresa is to rediscover the meaning of our existence. This doesn't necessarily mean embracing a specific religion, but reconnecting with a deeper spiritual dimension. We must seek a purpose that goes beyond the mere accumulation of material wealth and find meaning in compassion, faith, and serving others. Another crucial remedy is rebuilding the community. In an age dominated by individualism, the solution is the revival of a sense of community. Mother Teresa taught us the importance of loving and serving our neighbors. We must begin to see others not as competitors or obstacles, but as companions on life's journey. Building strong bonds based on empathy and listening can help us overcome the growing isolation. Living with simplicity is another essential remedy. The solution to the moral and spiritual crisis also lies in simplicity. Mother Teresa embodied the idea that happiness doesn't come from having more, but from giving and being. Reducing our attachment to material goods and the superficialities of modern life helps us live a more authentic life, centered on the core values of charity, humility, and love. Educating for love and solidarity is another vital remedy. The key to avoiding moral disintegration lies in educating future generations. We must teach the importance of love for others, justice, and compassion. This requires a commitment at both social and family levels to pass on values that promote respect and dignity for every person. Finally, it is crucial to recognize the signs and act now. Mother Teresa's prophecies should not be ignored. The signs of spiritual decay are already visible, and the remedy lies in acting before it's too late. It is time to make conscious choices, reform our lives, and promote positive change in society, rooted in spirituality and love for others.